Manchester United ended the year with a result that felt all too familiar. A 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. Plenty of possession, but very few clear answers. On paper, this should have been routine. Wolves came into the game bottom of the Premier League, on an 11-match losing run, short on confidence and belief. Instead, they left with a point, and United were left with boos ringing around the stadium.
Normal, but we didn't use that excuse against Newcastle. We are not going to use today, but of course if you see the game, I understand why we play the way we play today. The lack of fluidity, lack of one against one. We knew that would be a completely different game compared to Newcastle, because in Newcastle we have more.
So let's break this down properly. What went wrong, what it says about Manchester United right now, and why this result matters more than it first appears. Old Trafford was under the lights for the final home game of the year. It felt like an opportunity. A chance to build momentum after the Boxing Day win over Newcastle. There was a sense this could be a turning point. Not spectacular football, just control. Just professionalism. Instead, it became another night that highlighted the gap between what Manchester United want to be and what they currently are.
I think we are in one situation that you have a lot of players out in the same time. Of course, when you play Casemiro and Ugarte in the middle, you know that is different. When you have Kobe Mainoo or Mason Mount or Bruno, that is normal. So we just need to recover our players, the players from AFCON to return, and then the fluidity is going to be different. But again, we won the last one, and today we could win with the players that we have. We had lack of fluidity, and then lack of quality, and then lack of creation of chances, and then we suffer a goal with set pieces with a team and we are tall in this moment. So these details are important to win these games in difficult moments.
United actually started well. The opening half hour was positive. They pressed high, moved the ball quickly, and kept Wolves pinned back. The energy was there, the structure looked solid, and Wolves, for all their effort, looked like a side low on confidence. That pressure told in the 27th minute. Joshua Zirkzee picked up the ball on the edge of the box, shifted it quickly, and fired a shot that took a deflection on its way into the net. Not a perfect goal, but an important one. At that moment, it felt like United had done the hard part. Break the resistance. Force Wolves to open up. Old Trafford relaxed, and in hindsight, that might have been the problem. Instead of pushing on, United slowed the game down. The tempo dropped. The urgency faded. Wolves were allowed to settle. They started winning second balls and began to believe they could stay in the game. Just before halftime, United were punished. From a set piece, Ladislav Krejci was left completely unmarked. He rose above the defense and powered a header past Andre Onana. It was simple. It was avoidable. And it changed everything. You could feel the mood shift around the stadium, from comfort to concern. The second half followed a script United fans know all too well. Manchester United had the ball. A lot of the ball. They pushed Wolves back, camped around the penalty area, and recycled possession again and again. But possession is not the same as threat. Wolves defended deep. They stayed compact. And United struggled to find space. Crosses came in without conviction. Through balls were attempted, but rarely timed right. Too many attacks broke down, just outside the box. Benjamin Sesko came closest, striking the post and sending a brief ripple of excitement through Old Trafford. Late on, Patrick Dorgu thought he had won it, only for VAR to rule the goal out for offside. And that was it. Pressure, yes. Control, yes. but very little cutting edge. From the touchline, Ruben Amorim looked increasingly frustrated. After the game, he spoke about a lack of creativity in the final third, and the numbers back that up. Plenty of possession, but very few clear chances created. There were also questions about substitutions. United were chasing a winner, yet teenage forwards Chido Obi and Shea Lacey stayed on the bench. Injuries have limited options, but the caution was noticeable. It felt like a team afraid to lose, rather than one confident enough to win. And this is where the wider context matters. As the Guardian's live coverage pointed out, this Manchester United side looks more organised than earlier in the season. But organisation alone is not enough at Old Trafford. This is a team that can control games without imposing itself. That can dominate territory without dominating opponents. Against stronger sides, that can be understandable. Against a Wolves team on an 11-game losing run, it becomes harder to accept. For Wolves, this result meant everything. This was not just a draw. It was the end of a long, painful run. They showed discipline, they showed patience, and after conceding early, they did not collapse, something they have struggled with this season. Gary O'Neill praised his players' resilience and organisation afterwards, and rightly so. They came to Old Trafford, stayed in the game, and took something back with them. That matters. The contrast at the final whistle was striking. Wolves celebrated like a team that had been given new life. Manchester United stood still, listening to the reaction from the stands. Boos. Not angry. Just tired. Tired of false starts. Tired of stop-start progress. This draw matters because of timing. It came just days after a convincing win over Newcastle, a performance that suggested momentum, that suggested progress. Instead of building on it, United slipped back into old habits. They remain outside the top four. Still inconsistent. Still searching for fluency in attack. January is coming. Transfers will be discussed. Names will be linked. But this goes deeper than recruitment. It is about identity. About authority. About learning how to turn control into results.
I'm really confident. We just need to recover all the players, and I'm really confident. I don't know what is going to happen until the end of the season. Then we will make the resume of the season. But I'm really confident when we recover all the players that we are going to be a strong team. That there is no doubts in my mind.
Do you think you'll have to back the league?
I don't know. I have to check. I'm not going to risk anyone to lose them for 1 month or 2 months. So we'll try to arrange solutions. Again, let's see, and we will try to win the next one with no risks for the players.
So where does that leave Manchester United? Not in crisis, but not convincing either. Improved in structure, still lacking belief and creativity. For Wolves, this was a step forward. For United, it felt like standing still. On a cold night at Old Trafford, one team found encouragement. The other found familiar questions, once again.